Cutty-Thander Lake Eyre is a long but cruisy 1,500 kilometre ride from Melbourne to northern South Australia, just beyond the outback town of Eyre. Covering 9,000 square kilometres, it is the largest lake in Australia, but it has only filled 3 times in the past 165 years. It last filled in 1974-75, following tropical cyclones Wanda and Tracy, which dumped significant rain across the 1.2 million square kilometre Lake Eyre basin. The basin channels the floodwaters into Lake Eyre through a network of floodplains, wetlands, creeks and rivers. Due to catastrophic floods in Queensland, 2025 is seeing Lake Eyre fill for the 4th time, and it will probably be the only opportunity to see the lake full in our lifetime. Lake Eyre North started filling in early May from the flooded Warburton River that enters its northern point, and the water has now reached the shorelines. It continues to fill and will drain into Lake Eyre South in the coming weeks via the Eyre Channel, which connects both lakes. We've planned a 2-day ride from Melbourne to the outback town of Eyre. From Eyre, we'll take a Cessna flight over the lake. We then ride to each of the lake's 4 main vantage points, with a night in the iconic township of William Creek. Midwinter in Melbourne sees us leave on a crisp 5-degree morning at 5:30 a.m. I meet up with Andre at a service station on the Calder Freeway. 2 other riders will join us in Eyre, bringing their smaller enduro bikes on a trailer along with our swags and camping gear.
Hey buddy.
How you doing? Yeah, good.
We brace ourselves to get past Bendigo, where it's forecast to be 0 degrees. What we didn't expect was a pea-soup fog that lasted for 2 hours. With condensation from the fog and the temperature dropping to -1, our hands are like ice blocks and the riding is brutal. We finally thaw out as we get further north, and the rest of the ride to our overnight stop in Renmark is pleasant. From Renmark, we travel through the Flinders Ranges, exiting through Parachilna Gorge after chasing a roadrunner for part of the way. We then follow the Outback Highway alongside the now discontinued Central Australia Railway line to where the bitumen road finally ends in Eyre. We literally roll into Eyre, having got lucky with our calculations at the last place we filled up. In the morning, it's a spectacular sunrise as we head to Eyre Airport for our 7:30 a.m. flight over Lake Eyre. We're flying with Arid Air Scenic Flights in a Cessna Caravan, not sure of what we did to get the seats at the very back of the bus. Our group is Mick from Harriettville in Victoria, Robbie from Neerim South, also in Victoria. This is Robbie's first time in a Cessna, and don't be fooled by the smile because he's petrified. Andre from Melbourne, and me, Phil, also from Melbourne. We fly past Mullareena Station and over a dry, salt-encrusted Lake Eyre South, and then on to Lake Eyre North, following the Eyre Channel. From here, the views in the early morning sunlight are spectacular. The flight returns us over Lake Eyre South, and then we check out Eyre Man, a geoglyph which measures 5 kilometres from head to toe. The jury is still out as to what created Eyre Man, but it has been narrowed down to either someone with a large excavator or aliens. We also fly over Australia's famous dog fence. It's one of the longest structures in the world, stretching 5,614 kilometres from the Darling Downs in Queensland to the Nullarbor Plains of Western South Australia. The outback treats us to other interesting shapes and effects before we land back in Eyre. In the afternoon, we fill up with petrol and glad that we're on motorcycles, as the price of fuel here is eye-watering. We ride north of Eyre, past Mullerina Station, to the eastern shore of Lake Eyre South, and then along the Goyder Channel to the southern shore of Lake Eyre North, near Level Post Bay. On day 2, we ride 200 kilometres along the famous Oodnadatta track to William Creek. It's fortunate that we did the scenic flight yesterday, as all flights today are cancelled due to strong wind. The distance and strong crosswinds would make it a tough ride for the smaller enduro bikes, so Robbie and Mick decide to take the car instead. After passing a turn-off to Roxby Downs and Woomera, we stop about halfway at the Lake Eyre South viewing point. William Creek is a town with an airport, campsite and units, a hotel, fuel pumps and a couple of houses. At the 2021 census, the population of William Creek was 17. The town is owned by pilot Trevor Wright, who operates Wright's Eyre. It is situated on Anna Creek Station, the world's largest cattle station, at 3.67 million hectares. Despite the town's small size, it does a roaring trade, accommodating hordes of grey nomads and taking them on scenic flights over Lake Eyre and to other outback destinations. The William Creek Hotel is uniquely Australian, decorated with baseball caps, business cards, overseas currency notes, other memorabilia and messages from thousands of travellers that stop by every year. The hotel menu is quintessential outback cuisine, and everything about the town is a bit quirky. It's another 203 kilometres to Oodnadatta, but we're going back the other way to Halligan Bay, our next destination and the fourth access point to Lake Eyre. Sections of this track are a bit like riding on Mars. On the way back to Eyre, we stop at the Coward Springs campground, which has a warm, natural spa, date palms, and the best homemade date ice cream in Australia, sold from the aptly named Date Shack. After passing through Eyre, we pull into the 1870s railway town of Eyre, just off the Outback Highway. The town was abandoned in 1967, but is currently being restored by volunteers with the Eyre Restoration Group. The main attraction is the original underground bakery, which has been fully restored and operating since 2010. There's some goat curry escaping into the bush. Tonight we stay at the old copper mining town of Blinman in the Flinders Ranges and camp behind the hotel. In the morning we continue through the Flinders Ranges, past the huge amphitheatre-like mountain range of Wilpena Pound and on to Renmark, where we say goodbye to Robbie and Mick. Our final day starts with another spectacular sunrise, and our 3,600 kilometre round trip finally ends, back where we started in Melbourne.